This is the time where it is matter of seconds people judge you who you are. I didn't know how to speak about myself there, and what
Okay.
will I speak. I used to be quiet when in the
Mhm.
mentoring sessions because I didn't know what to speak there.
Welcome to another episode of the Ravinara Talk Show. Today, I am going to bring a guest. Now, before that, let me share, what this Ravinara Talk Show is all about, where I bring different people with a different stories, different innovator who has gone and come from the average life, and they have changed their life completely, and they have said quit mediocre life. Okay, so today's guest is also one of the guests who is the visionary CEO of Introduce Me and a TEDx speaker and a renowned for his transformative leadership in the IT industries. He was working with the IT industries and his journey got started in the IT industry. He was working as an employee towards an organization, and this guest speaker expertly blends his passion for AI and product innovation with a genuine empathy that resonates in all his endeavors. And beyond his professional pursuit, he is an avid gardener and a tech enthusiast, always keen to explore the latest in AI and SaaS products. A fluent speaker of English and Hindi, and also a guest speaker excels in public speaking, drawing from his interest in cricket and technology to inspire and connect. So, join us in discovering the impactful journey of a leader who truly embodies creativity and empathy at every turn. Let me go ahead and welcome Sushant Kumar, a visionary CEO of Introduce Me and a TEDx speaker. A very warm welcome, Sushant, and I'm super excited to bring you on the Ravinada Talk Show, Sushant.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ravi, for that charismatic introduction and having me on this show. I'm very honored to be here today and share my journey along with you and how have quit my mediocrity also from being an employee. I don't say that employees
Mhm.
are mediocre, but my thought process was mediocre there. And
Mhm.
now I have excelled in my thought process. So I'm
Abs-
very excited on today for the today's show, how it pans out.
Great. Thank you so much, and it's a great pleasure to bring you on the Ravinada show. So help us understand that, Sushan. How did your journey got started as an employee working on the IT industry to becoming a CEO of Introduce Me? Because there is a very great shift, and would love to know your journey, what all things has been gone through to becoming a CEO of Introduce Me.
So thank you, Ravi, for asking this question. For to answer this question, I will
Mhm.
take you back to my memory lanes. It was around 2008 when I started my first job as a Java developer in one of the companies, and uh, if I clearly remember there when I first day when I entered the office and I was supposed to be introducing myself to everyone, I vividly remember what I had said. And the first line that I said, and it was very nervous tone when I was speaking there. Now you see a different person. That's altogether a different journey.
Yes.
But at that point of time, I said that hi, and I was in front of one person, my colleague, and I said that hi, I'm Sushant Kumar. I'm a Java developer, and that's it. I wasn't able to say anything else.
Okay.
So I was not very articulative at that point of time, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that confidence also.
Mm-hmm.
But that clearly indicates that the just a two line of introduction doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really connects everything about you, tells about you, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after that, the journey continued. I almost for a decade worked there
Mm-hmm.
and excelled in my technical expertise, but somehow was not very good at introductions or being very articulative or being expressive in different scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So this led to me that finding someone where some place or someone who can help me with these things.
Mm-hmm.
And on this search led me to a mentorship program,
Mm-hmm.
which when I joined there,
Mm-hmm.
and I joined that mentorship program when I felt that this can help me in growing as a person,
Okay.
right? So when I joined the mentorship program, there were various scenarios in the program and the
Mm-hmm.
course in the duration of the course
Mm-hmm.
where we supposed to talk.
Okay.
And I always used to be shy at that point of time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you will be surprised to know the reason behind that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason used to be that I didn't know how to speak about myself there and
Okay.
what will I speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew a lot of things about myself, but how to say it in the words, right?
Mm-hmm.
How to do punctuations or how to do the pauses or
Mm-hmm.
what energy should I bring into the while I speak.
Mm-hmm.
This all always holded me back
Okay.
in before speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Now you understand this is one of the opportunities that I was losing because I was not able to speak up for myself because I knew it, but I was not able to introduce myself in a proper manner. So I was
Mm-hmm.
losing opportunities. And somehow I started learning in there from different speakers that they were there, my fellow mates they were there
Mm-hmm.
who were good at it. They were speaking. The mentors were there, so they were introducing themselves and speaking. So I started learning from there. The
Mm-hmm.
learning journey was slow for me, and
Mm-hmm.
learned from there. And fast forward, I started speaking. Then I started
Mm-hmm.
getting opportunities. I started speaking,
Mm-hmm.
and I happened to got an opportunity to be on the TEDx stage also, where I introduced myself as a TEDx
Okay.
speaker, and I delivered a very empathetic and energetic framework that I brought into the picture of TEDx.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I also became a mentor. And in one of the mentoring program, I mean, in the first, if you
Mm-hmm.
say mentoring program, there again a scenario came in front of me that I was supposed to introduce myself to the mentees that I had, right?
Okay.
And this was entirely a different scenario than what I had in TEDx or what I had introduced myself in the
Mm-hmm.
school days, you can say, or I had introduced in the job which I shared.
Mm-hmm.
And these were different scenarios, right? And every scenario demanded a different set of introduction from me.
Okay. Yeah.
But because till this time I was kind of experienced, I was
Mm-hmm.
had explored my personality, I was improved into that. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to figure it out what how to introduce myself. So I did it. But
Mm-hmm.
I there was still some gap, and this
Mm-hmm.
was always back of my mind.
Okay.
Uh, so what happened is when I joined one of the program on AI development,
Mm-hmm.
because tech is one of my love that I have for.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the program I developed joined for AI development,
Mm-hmm.
and there we were supposed to uh, launch our product,
Okay.
right? At that point of time, still I was not. All my colleagues and all my fellow batchmates were ready with their program, what they are going to create and do, and I was still searching for that.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point of time, the mentor that was there, he shared that you are supposed to be introducing yourself and your product in front of more than 500 people and
Okay.
thousands of audience online.
Mm-hmm.
And that point of time, an idea clicked into my mind
Okay.
was I'm supposed to introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
And how am I supposed to introduce? Right? This
Mm-hmm.
particular line was the brainchild of the whole product introduced me, because
Oh,
I knew this was a different situation again that had
you
arisen
have to
in front
introduce.
of
Yeah.
me. Yes, how to introduce myself. Now you understand, I gave you four different perspectives, right? All the
Mm-hmm.
way from either school or my first job,
Mm-hmm.
then mentorship situations,
Mm-hmm.
then this particular introduce me product.
Mm-hmm.
And connecting the dots, I realized that this is one of the problem that I have been struggling right
Mm-hmm.
throughout. How
Mm-hmm.
to introduce it and how to be more impeccable while I introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the introduce me was Bond. And if you also asked about what problem I'm trying to solve with this, right?
Yeah. So,
So,
what kind of a
yeah.
problem, like really, this introduce me is going to solve for the audience, like how it is going to help them? Because now you have already shared, like, this is the problem which you were already facing from different situation, like from getting interviewed for a IT organization, then being in the leadership, then again you have to introduce yourself in front of the team, then into a different mentoring session you want, like you want to introduce in front of the people, and then again, like in a scenario where you shared that I have to introduce in front of thousands of audience, and also five like somewhere more than that audiences online. So every now and then you have shared, like this was somewhere always back, there was a problem, you said. So how important this is, like when it comes to introducing yourself, and what if you're not introducing very well, what is going to happen, and like how important it is to solve this particular problem.
Okay, so I will start with what exactly problem I'm trying to solve, and then
Mm-hmm.
what is the importance of it. I will come to that.
Sure.
So, if you in the story that I shared, if you remember, there was two important things. The first
Mm-hmm.
is that how to be articulative about your words, about whatever
Mm-hmm.
you are as a person, right? How to present that and
Mm-hmm.
make it memorable.
Mm-hmm.
And the second problem is that the time factor. While you sit in to write your introduction, right, for different scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
you have to put a lot of effort in order to bring all the dots in one point and write down a perfect introduction, which can be presented to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And you shared that how important it is.
Yeah.
Now, let's understand the importance of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and introduce just like any other person, how many
Mm-hmm.
people will remember you?
Mm.
This is the time where it is matter of seconds people judge you who you are, right?
Correct.
And if you are not able to put yourself in front of them that they can remember all the time, you
Mm-hmm.
are not going to be remembered. And it all
Mm-hmm.
boils down to how you introduce yourself, how people relate to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the two important factor that I shared is articulation of the words and how much impactful that is, and the time factor, because
Mm-hmm.
these two are important there while introducing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you mean to say that it is very much important so that people can remember you by the way you have introduced, and also you have shared your whatever expertise or knowledge you have already shared that in that particular introduction, right?
Right, right.
Because this makes me remember that when I started my journey, right, when I was going through different event, or like the networking events where I used to meet different strangers, this was the very point where I used to get stuck as well. Because if you want to meet someone, whether it's in today online or offline, the first question is like, hey, what do you do, like who are you, those kind of a thing. And if you're not
Yeah,
introducing very well, then you will not be able to create a long lasting impact, right? And
exactly.
the relationship will not go so far. It was just for a sake of it, you just said that, hey, my name is this and I am this. It won't work. And now I can, like relate, like how I used to go through. But thanks, like now you have already created this introduce me, where people can go and directly, like use this particular thing, and they will be able to create an introduction. But Sushant, can you help us to know that how simple it is, and how one can go and use it for their benefit, like let's say if they want to create an introduction for any kind of a sales pitch, or maybe any kind of a event, how can they go ahead and do it?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. And before I go into it, I would like to answer or say add to it what you shared about
Mm-hmm.
the networking events. And you remind me even of my networking events when I used to go
Mm-hmm.
in the networking events. In the even the pitch of this introduce me also, I had a networking event.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I had prepared a lot because
Mm-hmm.
that time the product was not ready. So I had prepared a lot and went to pitch it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you shared very important point that if you do not make the first impression there,
Mm-hmm.
right, in front of the person that you are meeting, he will forget you or
Correct.
she will forget you. Why? Because he or she is meeting hundreds of people at the same day.
Right.
And if you are not different from others, then they are not going to remember you at all. And you have
Mm-hmm.
lost the connection then
Mm-hmm.
and there. So that is how much impactful your introduction has to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now imagine a situation in networking event.
Mm-hmm.
You go and the scenario is entirely different there. You prepared something, but the scenario went different there, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to prepare another introduction at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
How much time you will have? You won't have much time to prepare unless you are very great, like maybe like Shakespeare or some great authors that like we have heard about, right? If great like TEDx talks people who
Mm-hmm.
give TEDx speeches, they can do it, but not
Mm-hmm.
everyone can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not able to do that, you're losing opportunity to connect and maybe
Absolutely.
grow in the future. As
Mm-hmm.
the saying goes, your network is your net worth. So
Mm-hmm.
you will lose the network, so eventually you are losing the net worth,
Absolutely.
right?
And also, like you shared it, like even if there is a different opportunities or different kind of a scenarios, how you will be able to create that introduction, because any which ways you are stuck, you don't know how to introduce, and you are nervous to ask someone else also, hey, whether this to validate that whether this is a right introduction or no. So end of the day, what happens
Hmm.
is you just don't speak at all, and you are more nervous, and it's you think that it's better to keep quiet or leave the room.
Yeah,
Correct?
exactly that. Right. I'm sorry if I cut
No,
you.
no,
You
no,
can go
please
ahead.
continue. Yeah.
Okay, so exactly. I mean, you reminded me that story that I shared that I used to be quiet when in the
Hmm.
mentoring sessions because I didn't know what to speak there, right? And I was losing opportunity to connect with all the people and expressing myself in front of mentors and all the peoples, right? So I was losing opportunities. So you can understand the impact of introduction. You are losing a lot of opportunity that was there for you on the plate, if I can say that.
Absolutely. So could you
Yeah.
help us in how does introduce me can craft a perfect introduction effortless and how it is
Yeah, sure.
impactful for the users?
I would love to. I would love to. So what I will do is I will share my screen
Mm-hmm.
and I will take you through the journey of introduce me, how
Sure.
you can create your introduction in matter
Mm.
of seconds once you have filled everything in there.
Sure.
So, uh, okay. So what I'm going to share is my screen. Just give
Mm-hmm.
me a moment and let me know when it is visible to you.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you can see this is the landing page. You can go to www.introduceme.io website,
Mm-hmm.
and this you will see, and
Mm-hmm.
it's free to use.
Mm-hmm.
And as we say, ace every introduction with ease. And you
Mm-hmm.
will come to know in very few minutes why we are claiming this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So click on the join, it's free,
Mm-hmm.
and you will be brought to this page. You
Mm-hmm.
put your name, like I will put my name, and I will put my email ID, one of the email ID that I have, and I'll put my passwords.
Mm-hmm.
Create a password, a strong password for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and you have to accept the terms and conditions. If you want to go ahead and read it, you can click on this and read it,
Mm-hmm.
and click sign up.
Okay.
And here you go. You have signed up, and they introduce me, and you're ready to go
Mm-hmm.
inside. So this is you put your age here. Nothing is mandatory, but as much detail as you can give it,
Mm-hmm.
right? It will help the AI to craft your personal introduction. So I
Okay.
would suggest that you go more in detail and do not worry about your data because it's completely safe. We follow the safety guidelines on the data, so
Mm.
it's completely safe for you.
So it's
As
kind
all
of a thing like the more you give the information, it will be helpful to create that perfect style of an introduction of you as a person.
right, right. The more detail we know, more personalized introduction will be created for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so for example, put my age as for 32, so let's me put as 42,
Mm-hmm.
and my interest is more in AI,
Mm-hmm.
and I love cricket also is my interest. Technology is kind of very much interesting to me. These
Mm-hmm.
are some of the interests that I have written, and I do love gardening, so I will write down gardening. And my personal key strengths, if you say that I'm a resilient person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm also very empathic, soft person. I show empathy. And the languages that I speak is English, and I'm very fluent in English and Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put the next. And it says about professional backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
which industry. So I will say I'm from IT industry. My current designation as CEO of Introduce Me. And whatever you want to put, you can go ahead and do it. And you can
Mm-hmm.
edit it later also. There is the option
Okay.
to edit if you find it different. So my professional strength is public speaking, if I can say public speaking, AI, SaaS product development. Uh, my core strengths also is Java is also one of my strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do have strength in mentoring, but I will leave right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the accomplishments that I had, as you shared in my introduction, also
Mm-hmm.
is TEDx. I'm a TEDx speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all. I'm done. In a
Okay.
matter of minutes, I'm done, and it will take me to the main screen. So here you are.
Mm-hmm.
It says Hola Sushant Kumar. I hope you understand what the Hola is. It's saying hello in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So it asks you, where do you want to introduce yourself today?
Okay.
And the options that you can see is choose an option. Where do you want to do? Where do you want to do, Ravi? I can show a demo for you.
Yeah, you can select any one of them. Yeah.
So let's take a networking events, for
Okay.
example. Networking events, right? And you want to be humorous or formal. It depends up to your choice of style, which
Mm-hmm.
style you want to speak on,
Mm-hmm.
right? It should be based on your personality, but you can definitely test and try different things and
Mm-hmm.
generate which suits you best,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I will go with humorous. Let's see, and I will do different also.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, I'm connector, so or I will say I'm a participant,
Mm-hmm.
right? And any additional input I want to do is I will leave right now, or rather say I'll say that give me crisp introduction,
Okay.
crisp introduction, right? So you can add anything you like,
Mm-hmm.
and I will generate my intro here, and let's see how it comes up.
Mm-hmm. So there are so many different styles and roles of a person can choose accordingly, like where he wants to introduce. Yeah. Right.
Yes, there are different. I just gave you one of the style options and one of the
Mm-hmm.
setup because there can be various setups, right, where you want to introduce yourself, as
Absolutely.
I shared, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of the it came up with I'm Sushant Kumar CEO of Introduce Me, an occasional gardener when technology doesn't demand my attention. And then and it's a bit humorous. So they tell me I could one day replace human interaction, but here I'm at networking event, proving AI wrong while perfecting my public speaking, just as I did at TEDx. And it's quite funny if you can.
Yes,
Memorize few of the lines here. It will be quite interesting introduction that you people will
absolutely.
remember it, right? Now there is one more uh, important feature that we added to it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this is a text, right? It comes to you, but
Mm-hmm.
and I can just read it also, right? Hello,
Mm-hmm.
everyone. I'm Sushant Kumar CEO of Introduce Me and occasional. But this will not create an impact unless you
Mm-hmm.
have proper pauses and how much energy you should put in particular
Where to
line, right?
pause and where
Where to
to have
pause?
that
Yeah.
energy. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, it becomes very monotonous, and people do not
Correct.
love monotonous energy. People are
Yes.
more emotional energies, people, and they want some action into it, involve
Mm-hmm.
into it, right? Otherwise, you will become a robot. What's the
Mm-hmm.
difference between a robot and you if you were very
Mm-hmm.
monotonous? So, in order to solve that, what we did, if you see in the bottom, there is show expert delivery instructions. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a mini mentor that we are giving to you straight away
Mm-hmm.
in this picture. So if you select this and click on the more, and you will see the magic happening for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this dancing, I'm dancing because he's happy. He introduced me. He's happy to have you. That's why this logo is there. That's
It's quite funny, and it's very enthusiastic as well at the same time. Okay.
right. And here comes your introduction, right? So now you see, while these things are there, I'm Shank Kumar, I wear two hats. One as the CEO of Introduce Me and the other much greener as an amateur gardener.
Okay.
Right? People will straight away connect to me that they may not remember me as a CEO
Hmm.
of Introduce Me, but they will definitely remember me as an amateur gardener.
Correct.
Right? These are the words that can make a different impact to remember,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Now, here I shared that smile and make brief eye contact with the audience. Pause 2 seconds. If you remember, if you remember that, I
Hmm.
shared this with a smile, right?
Hmm.
And even when you're speaking, this will bring a smile on your face, right?
Hmm.
And if you just say it as I'm Sushant Kumar, I wear two hats. One as the CEO of Introduce Me, and the two other much greener and as an amateur gardener, it will not create any impact at all.
Hmm.
So they're just reading like a robot, right?
Correct.
Like newsreaders sometimes do that, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But on the contrary, if you see the guidance given to you, right? Smile and make brief eye contact with the audience. Pause for 2 seconds.
Hmm.
So I'm Sushant Kumar. I wear two hats. One as the CEO of Introduce Me, and the other much greener as an amateur gardener. And then this pause makes people to reflect on what you had said. That's
Hmm.
the impact of the instructions that has been given. And
Hmm.
you can follow all the instructions and prepare beforehand you go to the any of the events,
Hmm.
right? So how do you like it?
Well, that's just amazing, and thank you so much, Sushant, for giving a quick demo because it's quite interesting, right? Because people know that hey, let's suppose this next week there is a presentation, or maybe next week they are going for some kind of a networking events, or maybe next week they have to crack some kind of an interview. So this can easily be they can prepare a special introduction with them for whatever event is going to come up for the next, and they can have that ready. And at the same time, it gives it's so quick that because gone with the time, where we don't know how to introduce, we want to ask someone else, even we judge that whether somebody knows that how to introduce, or we have to wait and we have to again go be nervous and break our head. But now here it is introduce me while helping how I should introduce myself in front of the audience. So I think so, Sushant, this is just amazing. I was thinking where were they introduced me, when there was a time earlier 5 to 10 years back when I needed that introduction, in the networking events, or maybe some colleges, or maybe going for some kind of an interview. So I think so. This is just amazing, which is so
Right.
handy and so quick to get yourself introduced with the help of introduce me.
Right, and thank you, Ravi. But I can't help you go back in the past and introduce me. But definitely from now onwards, it's available to all of you, solving these two important problems of time and the articulation of the words and how to deliver it, right? The third important aspect. Now, I want to take you through some more of the things so that
Mm-hmm.
you get more
Mm-hmm.
familiar about these things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you like this, right,
Mm-hmm.
and this, you can just go and save it, and it will be saved in your history. And if
Okay.
you do not like it, you can definitely go and click on more,
Mm-hmm.
right? Click
Mm-hmm.
on more, and it will generate more for you, right?
Okay.
It can generate unlimited number of
Mm-hmm.
introductions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And while you save this, for example, you saved it, how will you see it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what you do is you click on here and you go to history,
Mm-hmm.
and on the history, it will show the data here.
Okay.
So this is the data.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the data should also come, but nevertheless. So
Mm-hmm.
here it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's bringing the data here. And when you click on this, it will bring the favorites also for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is one of them. And then you can go ahead if you wanted to edit your profile, right? We
Mm-hmm.
discussed about if you wanted to change something, go ahead and click on the edit profile and it will bring you to the profiling that you had added. And
Mm-hmm.
you can just click on this and just change it, whatever you want to change it and make it done, and you're done for this.
Mm-hmm.
And you will again come back to this. All right. And uh, let's take one more example where you want to introduce yourself that will help you. For
Mm-hmm.
example, let's take uh, what kind of, let's say, job interview, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in job interview, you can be humorous. It depends on your personality. You can be humorous or
Maybe more
formal,
formal. That would
more
be good. Yeah,
formal,
it's
more
totally depend upon
appropriate.
the personality. Yes.
Yeah, there are, if you can carry your humorous part
Exactly.
also in
Yeah.
the,
If you're
then you can go
confident,
ahead
then
and
you
do
will be
that.
able
Yeah.
to do it. Yes.
Yes, yes. So if you are a candidate, right? So let's take it as a candidate, and
Mm-hmm.
I will write down that I'm going for AI interview um, for the position of um AI developer, right? So let's see what it does for us.
Again, he's so excited to show you how
Yeah,
you can introduce
it
yourself.
reflects the team's morale of introduce me team's morale.
Okay.
Me and Sukhvinder are part of this team, so we
Mm-hmm.
are very happy. This
Mm-hmm.
happy thing is very much that
Here
I
we
wanted to
go.
share with you. Here we
Mm-hmm.
go. And here it is your introduction ready. Good morning, I'm Sushant Kumar. Speak clearly, maintain eye contact, pause 1 second. It's
Mm-hmm.
important. Like, good morning, I'm Sushant Kumar. With over 2 decades of experience in IT industry, I have ascended from software development to strategic leadership as the CEO of Introduce Me.
Mm-hmm.
My professional journey is highlighted by my contribution to AI-driven SaaS products and my appearance as a speaker at a TEDx event.
Mm-hmm.
I bring a blend of technical expertise in Java and AI coupled with a proven track record in public speaking and leadership. And like that, if you follow the instructions, you can go ahead and do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in a matter of minutes, you are ready for any interview. You do not have to be nervous at all. Oh, how
Mm-hmm.
to present it is also there. And most important, your interviewer will be impressed with your introduction. That's our guarantee of introduce me.
Absolutely. Yeah, because this is what is the way you introduce to whatever setting, that itself shows a confident. And I think so the people who were losing the confidence, now you help them to bring that confidence back by helping them to create that killer or powerful introduction in front of anybody.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so true, Ravi. Thanks for adding that. Yep, and just for the last thing that I want to share in
Mm-hmm.
this is that if you have any suggestion or feedback, just click on this feedback, and you can go and share your feedback. So just select one of them, whatever it is, suggestion, feedback, or improvement you'd like to have, and your input and any image that you want to add, just
Mm-hmm.
add and submit it, and that's it. That will help us also in refining this product more and helping you in any situation that you are having any problem with.
Absolutely. And Sushant, thank you so much for giving that quick demo where I will be able to create that introduction in less than 5 to 10 minutes. That is so quick, and I can use it for based on my personality, based on my styles, and based on that kind of an event where I want to use, so that I will not be a monotonous that every time like a parrot. I would say that whoever is asking me, who are you? I'm this. Who are you? I'm this.
Uh,
Instead of adding a different kind of a flavor to you based on the situation demands for you, right? And at the same time, meeting different people. So I think so. This is just amazing, Sushant. Now we definitely saw a different styles over there. Like, could you share what are different introduction styles offered by Introduce Me, and how do they cater to various scenarios in brief?
Okay, so some of the styles we generated, like formal and
Mm-hmm.
humorous, right? These are some of
Mm-hmm.
the styles. Along with that, there are eight total in styles that we
Okay.
have catering to right now at this point of time, which
Mm-hmm.
are casual, it can be inspirational, it can be snappy, it can be
Mm-hmm.
humorous, we have already covered, and a couple of
Mm-hmm.
more are there.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, although most of the people have their own personalities to which they can cater to, or based on the scenario where they are speaking, they can take the different set of styles. But I would encourage all of you to try and test different styles while you are
Mm-hmm.
generating the same kind of introduction. What
Mm-hmm.
happens is sometimes you do not know that. The introduction that will be generated, it could suit you more. You might not have explored that version earlier because it was not
Mm.
available to you till now, right? For
Right.
example, never used to be humorous earlier at all. And I used to always be very formal or maybe sometimes
Mm-hmm.
inspirational. That's it. These two types of styles I always used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have been started being more humorous also in different scenarios. But
Mm-hmm.
that only happened because I started using my own app. And
Okay.
just to give you one more how I use app in my life now. Remember that when we were talking about that I want to share my app with your community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you asked for my introduction. The introduction that I gave to you was generated by this. Introduce me, and
Okay.
I would like to show you if you want to see that. Where did I generate it? Do you like to see that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It is
sure.
straight from that book. So I
Mm-hmm.
will share that. And so I'm sharing my screen again, and
Mm-hmm.
so that you understand that I'm using it straight away for
Mm-hmm.
me myself.
So irrespective, you are doing a podcast, you are at a networking event, you are at a sales pitch, or you are
Yeah,
at in a social gathering, or maybe you are at any kind of a different place, you will be able to get those different variety kind of introductions for you.
right. And if you see this was the introduction that I gave to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sushant Kumar, the visionary CEO of Introduce Me and a TEDx
Yes.
speaker renowned for his transformative, right? It is straight out of this. I did not, some of the things I removed, ladies and gentlemen, because
Mm-hmm.
this was your role, right? That you have to
Mm-hmm.
share. So I
Mm-hmm.
removed that and rest of the things that I gave it to you.
Okay.
See, that's how you can use it straight away. And I'm using it in my life
Mm-hmm.
also.
Mm-hmm. So it's so very definitely it is very quick at the same time based on the context, because you as a person, you are not master of everything, right? Every person is
Exactly.
not great at each and everything, or they cannot hire some special person just to create an introduction. But now they can hire a special app the Introduce Me, where they can, for if they want to get the something to be introduced, they can literally get that from Introduce Me. So
Yes.
it's just amazing, and I was not aware of that, the introduction which was been because this is what the introduction which I shared in the beginning, and that was been created by Introduce Me itself. So that is how
Yes.
powerful it is, and that is how very simple and elegant I would say. So instead of using only formal and inspirational introduction, would highly recommend everybody, whoever going and checking out this and using it, see a different style, because unless and until we don't use it, or we see from a different perspective, we don't know how it is going to help. and we can immediately use start using it, and then we can check it out. Hey, how was this? Yep.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And try and test different scenarios. You get out of your comfort zone of one type of introduction that you have been doing till now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Uh,
And when you talk about the comfort, like I want to go back, like when
mhm,
your journey, right? Like right now you are at this point of a juncture, but earlier
mhm,
when you were not confident at all, when it comes to
mhm,
introducing, when you were not comfortable over there, what was happening? Like when you were not comfortable when introducing others, like what is that problem you were facing? Because this is the same problem I think you are actually helping others to solve as well, right? So what are the top
yeah.
three problems do you think was a major problem when you were going through on this?
Okay. So, if I recollect correctly, because it has been long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point of time, one definitely was I was very much aware that I'm not able to connect with the person because I'm just saying my name, right? Or some position that I have, something that I have. So I'm
Okay.
not able to connect with person. And that means that I'm losing opportunity to network properly.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing at that point of time, the problem that I was having is that I had a realization somewhere this, right, in back of my mind, and I was losing opportunity. This was there. But the problem was that I was looking for someone who could help me,
Oh,
right?
okay.
That who can create a better introduction for me, and that so that I can be more charismatic there when I introduce myself, and people can remember me, and I can network better there. So, if you remember, in the story that I shared, I started after a decade or so. I started looking for it, and I found a mentor also where I learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
about these things there. So, and even after learning that, it always used to take time to write
Mm-hmm.
an introduction that can be shared with the world, right?
Correct.
So, these are, if I say, two, three problems. The first is losing opportunity. The second is someone who can help me in crafting the introduction, and third
Mm-hmm.
is the time that it takes to create a craft an impeccable introduction.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think so introduce me is solving all this problem now, isn't it?
Yeah, all these
Yeah,
three,
yeah.
yes.
So Shant, help me understand that who is your ideal user, like who will get more benefit by using this introduce me, and how it is going to help them to solve that
Yeah.
particular problem.
So if I say primarily it is for the professionals out there who
Mm-hmm.
need to introduce themselves every here and there in different scenarios so that they do not lose the opportunities that come in their way,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, maybe the $1 million deal doesn't goes away from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, it's for each and every person out there who is looking to introduce in any scenario.
Okay.
While I say that any scenario, we have tried to cover most of the scenarios. And if you at any point of time see that my scenario is not there, you can always go and add the feedback that we are missing this scenario. Can you please add it? And we would be loving to have that feedback to add for you and help you out.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I think so. That is a great thing. Where like if there is something which is missing, definitely you are always more welcome to take that feedback and work on that particular thing. Right.
Yes.
So help me understand, like Sushant, like now you are able to get that ready, the introduction in a very powerful and perfect way. Now, how is
Mhm.
this going to help somebody to build their personality and also to help them in building a personal branding and in a
Yeah,
professional
okay.
growth?
So if we talk about personal branding is all about standing out in the crowd, right? How you
Hmm.
differentiate yourself from the others. Like Apple in the market of phone, right? Apple leads the market. Why? Because of the introduction, the brand image that they have created, right? They
Correct.
have introduced themselves in a manner, right?
Hmm.
So introduction is similar to being standing it out from the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a introduction that can be impeccable, that can be remembered by your audience, whoever you are speaking to, you are
Mm-hmm.
creating your own brand there, your personal
Mm-hmm.
brand there, right?
Correct.
So the this is if I say how important is your introduction in your personal branding, it's very, very important. If you miss it, you miss it, your network, your net worth.
Absolutely. I think it's ahead. It's ahead. That's the
Yes. And I forgot what was the next question that you had asked.
yeah. In the personal branding and also the for the professional growth.
The professional growth, yeah. So it's kind of related to the professional growth, right? If
Mm-hmm.
you are able to create a better network, if you are able to you're introducing yourself. Obviously, there are a lot of other works to be done, but the starting
Mm-hmm.
point is your introduction, right? People remember you, how you introduce themselves, yourself in front of them, and
Mm-hmm.
how you are able to generate their emotions when they are talking to you, and their time, the precious time that they are giving to you. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
make the most of the precious time that you both share, whether it's 10 second, a minute, or two, because
Mm-hmm.
that 10 second or a minute is going to define a lot of things for you in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Great. And what all things we can, Sushant, expect as a future updates? What is your plan or vision for something which is future, which is related to Introduce Me? Is there something what we need to be aware of that? What all upcoming things which is going to happen when it comes to Introduce Me?
Yeah, there are a lot of things coming. Some of the prominent features that we are planning to add is voice introduction. Uh,
Okay.
while I shared that there is expert introductions given there, but you still sometimes miss the tonality part, right? Not everyone is expert in the different
Mm-hmm.
tonality, how they should speak.
Mm-hmm.
So we are planning to bring the introduction in format of AI itself, AI voice itself,
Mm-hmm.
and that will give a sample introduction how it should be presented. The introduction that has been in the text format, how it should be presented in front of the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the feature. Then the other features that we are looking for is adding uh, more copy features. I mean, you can copy it, you can download it. And one more feature that we were thinking of is um, putting this as your maybe screen wallpaper kind of. It would the introduction that has been created, you can
Mm-hmm.
create and generate your screen wallpaper so that you can recall it again
Remember,
and
yeah.
remember it, right? It's important that you remember it also.
Correct.
So that is some of the things coming up, and more things are in pipeline, but I do not want to reveal at this point of time. But this is good to go.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that. And I want to go back to the roots. Now, you
Mhm.
said that like this is something which you were facing this problem where while introducing to others, and most of them they are not comfortable how to introduce. They don't know, and they need some guidance that somebody should help them. Now, what is like now Introduce Me has come, okay, and people can create that introduction in less than just few minutes. But I want to know more about the vision and what is the values which is connected towards this Introduce Me. Like, you are a CEO and also your partner, so what is that values which is that you think that that is something which is important and you always be focusing on.
Okay, so I will start with the vision part.
Sure.
Vision of Introduce Me is definitely that you don't have to struggle now about introduction at all,
Mm-hmm.
because the text part, it's always free to join and introduce yourself. It's always there free.
Mm-hmm.
The premium versions will come, but that's a different game.
Mm-hmm.
But the free part is always there for all of you. So
Mm-hmm.
our vision is very clear that we will help each and every individual on this earth to
Mm-hmm.
make their introduction impeccable
Okay.
so that people can remember them.
Absolutely.
And coming to the values part, we are very much integral about the data that we have. That's
Mm.
on the core of our values that we are very much careful about your personal data, that it doesn't
Mhm.
goes anywhere,
Mhm.
right? We don't share with anyone
Mhm.
whatsoever.
Mhm.
And apart from data is that we keep improving on whatever that we are presenting right now. We keep
Mhm.
improving and
Mhm.
respect all your feedbacks and improve on that, whatever is possible and feasible for us.
Mhm. Mhm. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Because we want to know that what is the reason behind it, and what is that something which is like, which works as a foundation, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
so coming towards the end of this podcast, like, what would the advice you would like to give, especially people who gets nervous, or like, of they feel shivering sometime, like, when they
yeah,
have been called up on the stage and they want to just introduce, not even they ask for to talk on some kind of a topic, but just for an introduction. What would you like to tell all those people, or the introvert people, the last advice from
yeah.
you?
Okay. So, um, the last advice from me would be that do not have to be nervous anymore, because Introduce Me is there to help you out. So introduction has been taken care of for you, and then
Mhm.
you will be able to craft your introduction
Mhm.
very much. The only thing that is now with you is to practice, right? So what
Mhm.
you do is copy it and the instructions that has been given, practice it again and again, and you are good to go. You do not have to be nervous anymore at all. That's our promise from our side, but obviously you have to execute it, go in there and execute it.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for sharing this, because I know, like, all of you, you are going to go ahead and get started with this. Introduce Me. So go ahead and get started. Prepare your killer introduction. Okay, whether it's an upcoming networking event, or whether it's an upcoming social gathering where you're meeting your social friends, school friends, or anybody, or whether you are going to crack your interview, and maybe it is for your IJP in your own organization, or maybe for a different organization, or maybe you as an introvert who are just going on stage for a first time. Go ahead and use this Introduce Me, and once you were able to prepare that confident introduction, go ahead and give that particular introduction, and then I would say, like, post the your reviews, I would say. And also, like, if you want, you can click a picture and send it to Sushant, that how this has actually helped you to introduce in front of so much of audience. So Sushant, if you would love to, like, give your Instagram ID as well, where people can start following you, and like, they can share the images where how this has actually helped in their life, so that will be great, like how people can connect with you.
Yes, so thanks a lot. You can definitely search me as Sushant, but on Instagram at the Sushant K100X, you can search me.
Mhm.
And Introduce Me is also there on this Instagram at Introduce Me. So you can search and there you can share your thoughts and suggestions, whatever you like to share.
Mhm.
All are welcome.
Great, great, great. So thank you so much. And I have already started using it for my, like, my introduction. Now it's you
Mhm.
who is going to, like, go ahead and start using it, because now you don't have to be more nervous, or like, shiver, so that now you can easily and confidently introduce at any event, any point of a time, in front of anyone. Okay. So thank you so
Mm.
much, everyone, for watching the entire episode. So I'll be joining you, like, on the next episode with a different guest. Okay. Until that time, take care. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.